Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurumi Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Namasturyaya Chandraya Mangalaya Budhaya Cha Guru Shukra Shani Vescha Rahuve Ketuve Namaha Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
Inhale deeply with Va and exhale deeply with C to Shushamanari. Please follow me through 7. Om Kriya Babaji Namo. Om Kriya Babaji Namo. Om Kriya Babaji Namo. Om Shri Guru Bhadrigaya Namaha. Om Shri Guru Bhadrigaya Namaha. Om Shri Guru Bhadrigaya Namaha. Om Shri Guru Bhadirgaya Namah. 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 Om. Om. The deep Three consciousness, we'll do the first pranayam. Inhale deeply with Va and exhale deeply with C through Shambhanari. Vahami through 7 times. The deep transcendental clear conscious, so the second pranayam. Inhale deeply with Va and exhale deeply with C through Shambhanari, halfway through. Follow me. The deep channel Kriya consciousness is third pranayam. Inhale deeply with Va and exhale deeply. See single breath. Follow me through. The blessings of Almighty. We are all seeing the end of the tunnel. Light is coming. COVID-19 going, even though through its variants. The sub nature punishes and forgives us. So we are at the end of the tunnel now. So let's continue our prayer until we are getting out of the problem completely and get normalcy in our life. So we'll pray through the Mantri Maharishi and Maha Avatar Babaji to Lord Vishnu for this to happen as soon as possible, 7 times.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantrayaya Amrita Kalasha Hastaya Sarvamaya Vinasanaye Trailogyanadaya Sri Maha Vishnave Namaha.
Om Kriya Babaji Namo.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantrayaya Amrita Kalasha Hastaya Sarvamaya Vinasanaye Trailogyanadaya Sri Maha Vishnave Namaha.
Om Kriya Babaji Namo.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantrayaya Amrita Kalasha Hastaya Sarvamaya Vinasanaye Trailogyanadaya Sri Maha Vishnave Namaha.
Om Kriya Babaji Namo.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantrayaya Amrita Kalasha Hastaya Sarvamaya Vinasanaye Trailogyanadaya Sri Maha Vishnave Namaha.
Om Kriya Babaji Namo.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantrayaya Amrita Kalasha Hastaya Sarvamaya Vinasanaye Trailogyanadaya Sri Maha Vishnave Namaha.
Om Kriya Babaji Namo.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantrayaya Amrita Kalasha Hastaya Sarvamaya Vinasanaye Trailogyanadaya Sri Maha Vishnave Namaha.
Om Kriya Babaji Namo.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantrayaya Amrita Kalasha Hastaya Sarvamaya Vinasanaye Trailogyanadaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.
Om Kriya Babaji Namaha. The blessings of Maha Avatar Babaji, of Guru. We will be looking at various important concepts of Suttas and also useful information from them through their writings and so on and so forth. We talked about things about theory of meditation, introspection, 96 tattvas, the human body, Babaji's Yoga Vedam, Nayagaragal, and so on and so forth. And Lady Siddha Avayar has written so many other books also, which is being read and understood by many people in southern part of India, particularly Tamil population. But many of his other writings did not come out, and they have very, very deep meaning. So we'll be looking that through very soon. I think one of our people who attended, Governor has done a lot of good work on Avayar's poems. So we'll go through that also. In the meantime, as all of you know, whatever Babaji is asking us to do and asking us to follow, we are doing it. So he asked us to go through some of the important chapters back again to remain and follow through. So now we are changing a little bit here and there our sadhanas according to the Yoga Vedam. We read about, I think, page 1 and 2. First a couple of lessons are very, very important. So that's why we went through a couple of 2 pages. Now, today I got some different message, so I have to inform that and then go on, whatever the important chapters. So it's a big problem even among adults, what is right and what is wrong. So the clarity isn't gone completely because it is Kali Yuga, of course. Kali Yuga, I have the problems of confusion and the planets act in a different way and people have done so much misdeeds and causing effect comes back again. And then the total consciousness, your individual consciousness is not always, even though we do meditate and clarify, when you come back to society, again, the cloud will come back again. So sometimes people don't know how to get out of it, but now we have the tools. Even that, we don't have time to use the tools, sadhanas, right? It's hard. That's why at least once a week we are doing this sadhana very sincerely. In fact, in the olden days, in Siddha's days, they do about 75% in meditation introspection, but only 25% is real life for them. Because as the clarity comes, we know, as you know, 90%. We don't even realize that 10%. We are doing prayer or a little bit of rituals, whatever we do, even that has become very smaller. And then people don't believe it because they don't even understand the meaning of it. So things go on like that. That's because of Kali. And Babaji asked us to at least remember some, as you know, Babaji has given these teachings in different ways, through different people. Like Yogananda's teachings are different, even though the basis is the same Kriya Yoga. A little bit of difference with Ramaya and Marshal Govindan, even within us, we are a little bit different from their teaching. It all depending on the time. And even I have met a couple of people back in India. Even one of the bank manager, State Bank of India manager, is teaching still, following through Babaji, and he also through one of his disciples get Babaji's teachings to Ardalwaka. Ardalwaka means energy coming out. So I don't say that openly because people misunderstand. So at least during the meditation time, I try to connect with his consciousness and say whatever is coming out and just giving out in one way. So right and wrong, unless we are clear, we can't inform our children and the following. So before we go to Yoga Vedam, at least I think you will just explain a little bit right and wrong. Of course, this is based on our consciousness, our non-physical nature, based on Siddha's concept of adharas, 6 adharas, and 96 tattvas, their concept of mind, energy, and everything. When is your life going to be perfect? When is your consciousness going to be good? When is your mind supposed to be good? When is your feeling supposed to be good? If it traces back, the consciousness, all of you know consciousness is nothing but, there's no big debate on this. Consciousness is just awareness within yourself. The right consciousness, according to Siddhas, and of course Babaji always agrees with Siddhas and he follows up to us, and many of you know. And he's one of the places where he will be there is when we talk about Siddhas and their poems. So in their teachings, when they say right consciousness is bliss consciousness. Bliss consciousness. Bliss consciousness is a consciousness. Sometimes people call it as a cosmic consciousness, God consciousness, and different kind of people say. And that is very close to Kriya consciousness. Now, I am talking Kriya consciousness, but I am not in that cosmic and bliss consciousness completely because I'm talking only in complete quietness. Without talking, only that will stay. But from there, I am talking, from there, I am speaking. So, Kriya consciousness, that is a perfect one. Also bliss consciousness. Completely happy, completely satisfied, no expectation, no desires, no anger, no worries. Bliss consciousness. Enjoying this bliss consciousness completely, body, soul, mind, everything is bliss consciousness, is ecstasy, consciousness, ecstasy. Bliss consciousness, ecstasy. This is the absolute right consciousness one should have. Always bliss consciousness, always ecstasy consciousness. Higher and higher bliss goes to ecstasy. There is no limit to ecstasy. So that's why many of the siddhas always happy, always ecstatic, happy. And people don't understand them, so they think they are mad. There's a siddha saying, மாங்காய் பால் உண்டவருக்கு தேங்காய் பால் எதுக்கடி குதம்பாய் தேங்காய் பால் எதுக்கடி Kudambai is one of their songs. I often refer to his name because he exactly he was a siddha, one of the siddhas who gave a poem to locate the Surumunai. So many times I have cited the poem, but that's the siddha who talks about this. Manga parundavarukku thengai pal edukadi. That means one who enjoyed the milk of consciousness. Why should I need the milk of coconut? Coconut milk is very sweet, and those days, those are the main foods for siddhas, bananas and coconuts. That's why we gave that as prasad in temples. That was the food for the siddhas those days. Anyway, so this mangai pal is nothing but ecstasy. They drink the one amritam, ambrosia. They keep on drinking that. We talked about this so many times. That happens only when the 10th opening, Patavadu Vasa, 10th opening opens, and you realize. So that you can see, sometimes you can feel a little bit of that even in deep meditation. So the perfect consciousness is bliss consciousness and ecstasy, consciousness, ecstasy. Babaji is always in ecstasy consciousness all the time. All the siddhas are. It's one of the reasons they don't want to come down to Kali Yuga so often, because Kali Yuga is very, very difficult to be in ecstasy consciousness all the time, bliss consciousness, because it is character. So many things happening. But we know we are struggling and we are feeling, we know where it is. So when you have this perfect consciousness, perfect ecstasy consciousness, how is your feeling going to be? So to find out whether you are in that conscious or not, this is one of the good ways you can find out. The feeling within you has to be loving. compassionate. That is for everybody. Not only loving others, even loving yourself, loving your own mind, your own feelings, your own thoughts. And of course, your family, children, your community relation, relatives, community, society, nature, Prabanja. Goes on like that. Everything together. Love. That's why one of my gurus, Vedatri Maharshi, always say war. It's a very famous saying in Tamil Nadu, where we say war. That blessing came through the consciousness of cosmic consciousness or bliss consciousness and ecstasy consciousness. Only when that consciousness, if you say war, it goes to all society as well as to other livings. So that consciousness should say that, not normally. I think you can't say just for the word's sake. People say certain things, I'm sorry, this and that, I'm happy. No, with the real consciousness, you should say that war. Everybody. Even telling it yourself too. So that kind of feeling that has to be there. With that, love, and at the higher level, compassion. Love, when it becomes heightened, compassionate, love, compassion for everything. Compassion for yourself, your mind, your soul, compassion for your spouse, children, compassion for relatives, compassion for community, compassion for the nature, prapanjam, everything. Completely. Everything. So that will be the feeling. If the feeling is not there, if you're feeling guilty, or if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling desire, I didn't achieve this, I have to do this, I have to do this, that is not the right consciousness. You are in not the right consciousness. Babaji says that's an indicator of right consciousness. So some days you feel loving, somebody feel compassionate. So that is there's a tint of this consciousness of bliss and ecstasy. But really, you can think of it. You can see after Kriya consciousness being felt after meditation, what you feel. You will see a lot of love. You will see a lot of compassion. You will feel a lot of happiness, peacefulness, right? Was only for a short time, and then another consciousness, community consciousness comes on board. You, then the family life, children, community, relatives, everything comes in, everything changes. But I'm just saying what is the right and not right consciousness and feelings. So, bliss consciousness, ecstasy consciousness, and the feeling level of love, compassion. Coming down, if we have that kind of feelings, mind will be peaceful. Mind will be joyous, joyful. Okay, so this is another indicator of this is coming down from the consciousness. The consciousness is the root. There's a root where you are putting the water and it grows with your feeling as the leaves. It grows like flowers, like your mind. Okay, so you have to feed the roots with what? Meditation, sadhana, everything. So what's right? That perfect consciousness. So mind will be peaceful, the flower of this plant, peaceful, and be joyous, celebration, joyful. Whether you do anything, whether you take sweet or not, you'll be joyful. Whether you take enough food or not, still you will be joyful. So peacefulness, one stage, joyous feeling, mind. Now, if you keep on like this, because this is the nature of the non-physical nature of our soul itself, without we're talking about without the imprints, without those dirts. This is the nature. Because from the consciousness only our nadis and physical bodies form, physical body will be healthy. Your body will be healthy. You'll be feeling happiness, the higher form is healthy is, bodily happiness also will come. So if your body is not healthy, if you're not in happiness, that means this consciousness is not there. Then you may ask the question, well, don't you think Siddhas have disease? That the highly spiritually evolved people don't have disease. There is, there. But when and how do they feel about it? How did they? Did they suffer? Did they? Of course, there are the gradations. But absolutely, Siddha's knowledge, if you really follow, if you follow through everything, is what it will be. Siddha's at least say minimally, at least we should have 120 years. And if you take proper precautions and everything, and some of the Kaya Kalpa methods there, if you follow them, it can be longer too, without disease. So, yeah, body with disease and life is, according to Siddha, useless. That is why we in Siddha medicine, Siddha, we always say, Vehakal Sahatal Pohakal. It means you need to have physical body which is healthy, physical body that is diseaseless, ageless, and even it can go deathless stage. Of course, with even with our physical body can attain a deathless stage. Jiva Samadhi and like people like Maha Avatar Babaji who obtain the Sarura Samadhi, they can come back to Swarupam also from the non-physical stage, anytime, anywhere. As light, as all of us know and understood and follow. So this is right and wrong Babaji wants us to inform us today. Right? We can come back to our yoga with the next class. But I really want to inform you, it's very, very important teaching Baba is giving us. Right and wrong. So these are the indicators. Anything anywhere wrong, then stop. Think. Something I'm not doing right. Let me go back to meditation. Let me go back to sadhana. Make it back there. So it will be really helpful in your life when you use these indicators, right from your consciousness to your energy, to your feelings, to your mind, and to your physical body. Okay. So I think I'm going to stop there. If there are any question on this, if there's a question regarding. Okay.
Any question?
Okay, thank you. Okay, yeah, anything? Yeah. All right. I know some of you really want to see the football game, so I think I'm going to stop here. And the NFL is going on. Next class, I'm going to shorten today's satsang. So this is a very, very important lesson today, even though it is short and sweet. Very, very, very important. All of us should follow through. Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, it was brewing and I was just thinking. You talked about right and wrong, and we talked about how we should be feeling. Now, how do we impart this to our children or spread it to the society and have them experience this kind of consciousness?
Of course, so unfortunately, in Kali Yuga, it's very difficult to introduce them the techniques, sadhanas, and tools. They don't believe it. And instead of believing that, they are looking at us as crazy people. That's a different thing. But we can always tell them, you want to have a peaceful mind, you want to have a healthy body. Everybody wants it, right? So when they want to have a peaceful mind, when they cannot have a peaceful mind, they are not looking other ways. Then some people want to come to meditation. And once you get the peaceful, that's it. They're gone. So they're using it as a tool for only peace. That's it. They will stop. But again, that'll lead to eventually that'll lead to ultimate understanding. And some people want to have a better body, right? Diseaseless body. So they go for only yoga, physical yoga, hatha yoga, good yoga studios, and then they bend their body, this and that. They feel a little bit healthy and they're happy and stop there. For some of them who go deeply, then they go into meditation and then introspection, everything. And then it's a little higher level. People say love is God, love is very important, this and that, and then sometimes they misunderstand. And why I'm not like this, and why some people are not compassionate, why they're not sharing with people, and all those things. And what is it? So you can always, from their viewpoint, you can always tell them what they want can be attained by this, because ultimately that's what mind wants. Mind wants to be peaceful, mind wants to be compassionate. Otherwise, it won't be normal. Okay, that's the nature of the soul itself, non-physical self. So we can start from the healthy body. We can start from the peacefulness, whatever they want. So this is a different way of attaining it. So from there you can tell them. So whenever they have, since you are gone through so many lessons and understand you believe in everything, unfortunately, the modern society can't make them force them to believe it. But at least whenever they have a problem, come to you, or whenever they are confused, you can impart them in their own way. Try to do this, see what happens. So you'll be happy, you'll be peaceful.
Because Maya does play such a big role in Kriya Yoga, and
Yep.
it's very difficult to differentiate
Yeah.
Maya from
Absolutely.
consciousness when we are getting, because
It
we
is.
get mixed. And plus, to add to it is imprints. That
Right.
we also have leftover desires from previous births and the imprints that we carry. In that mix of all the concoction, how are we supposed to get through this right consciousness and keep it in that way? Attaining is not we do every Sunday, we get through this, but to maintain and sustain this, that is the
See,
main
that
thing.
is
How do we
why
sustain it as we go on?
that is why Babaji is giving us this important lesson suddenly in between insertion. So these are indicators. Look, take this as indicators. Whenever you don't feel loving, compassionate, or whenever don't feel conscious, whenever you don't feel peacefulness, whenever you don't feel the joyfulness in the life, then there is something wrong. Let me get back to my sadhana. Let me get back into some
So you
meditation. Let me introspect.
revert back to
Yeah,
sadhana, you
yeah,
meditate, and
right.
you get back to that
Yeah, by
consciousness.
that consciousness.
That will increase your sustainability.
Absolutely.
Because, like you said, now within half an hour, we will lose the Kriya consciousness and we get
Yeah,
into
get into that. Yeah.
regular day-to-day activities. But
Yeah. So whenever it's possible, just
how do we
give us a couple of
prolong
minutes.
this?
Mhm. Yes, eventually it will stay. Your consciousness will completely change to bliss consciousness. Even if you look at that thing, that is why you are evolving. So when you're evolving, it's a difference. In a party, people get mad, angry, this. But look at yourself. Because you're doing sadhana, you are in a different place. Sometimes you really laugh at them. Why are they making the big fuss out of it? So you're not in the perfect stage. At least you see a little bit difference there. Okay, that's why always those who are in doubt, are we okay? Am I normal? So yes, you are. You are in the right place. So sometimes that goes away. The way you want to be. Absolutely, Siddhas will never make you fail. They'll never show the wrong way. And this is the right sadhana. What you're doing. Get back to your sadhana. Go and read some Siddha's books, or read some of the lectures of Babaji, or ourselves, our videos. Then slowly get back to get back to that peaceful state. Then go back to meditation. Get this Kriya consciousness a little bit. Have a touch of it. That's why I was telling in the beginning itself. In the olden days, they have a 73% meditation and this, and then only normal. That is why in Indian culture, they made everything along with religious stuff, happiness and sadness, functions. Everywhere the God comes, the ritual comes, everything there, right? So that consciousness will always be there, even though you are with friends and everything, but still your conscience is a little bit of blissful. There's a chance to be blissful and ecstasy. So anyway, you can repeat that. You can repeat that here also. When the children are going, we can ask them to put a lamp there, sit with the lamp and meditate a little bit, chant this mantra. It will feel good for you. When the children are excited, they are so scared of the exam. Just ask them to sit before you study. Do this and then do this little bit. So they when they realize when they get the benefits, they won't leave it. They'll stay there a long time, and they themselves will explore also. When the innate creative intelligence is coming to the highest level, just like what we have gone through certain stage. We want to lead our own life. We want to explore life. They will lead themselves. Maybe they will be better than you. Who knows? So those are all possibility exists. So at least light the lamp a little bit, even though Kali Yuga's Maya is still there, but God is still there. Light is still there. It's just magnifying the light. Like Baba is still there. He's working for peacefulness everywhere. And there are people who has to do this for somehow. People like us, like sometimes we are strange people. We are also moving around, and they act through us sometimes. There's great people, siddhas spiritual people, rishis, munis. They are still there, even though they don't appear. Some reason or another, their consciousness, their influence is still there. So they will help us. It's not that completely gone. That is why after Kali you come back to Satyug. Because in the transition period. So there'll be self-help. Only thing is that in this Kali Yuga, you have to intentionally get into the good part of it. It won't come naturally. That's why the nature of the mind itself is going to the ditch. It will take you to depression, it will take you to worries, it will take you to confusion. So once because it is Kali, a collective consciousness. So once you know that nature of it, you are the one who have to get back to that bliss consciousness.
Yardsticks. So
Yeah,
these are your measuring
these are the yardsticks. These are the yardsticks. Okay, this is where your conscience should be. This is where your energy should be. This is where. So when you introspect yourself, where did I go wrong? Go with body, go with your mind, go with your energy. Yeah, go with your feelings, go with the energy. So from the feelings, if you have a touch of the feeling all the time, you can easily catch where did I go wrong. Are you feeling angry now? That's something wrong. The angry feeling is not right. Get back, do some introspection. Are you feeling too much desire that you didn't achieve so much? Go, find out. If you want to get something, focus on it. Put all other desires, but hey, I have one thing, achieve that. So like that, you have to keep on doing. And if your mind is not behaving, is not doing what it's supposed to do, go and meditate. You have the sadhana. Babaji gave us the tools. Sadhanas. You see the mind after meditation how it is and normally how it is. So that is why, சொல்லுங்க.
I'm sorry, actually, Jayshi's question kind of made a question for me. So நீங்க பாபாஜியை கேட்க சொல்றீங்க, right? Like நம்மளுக்கு ஒரு இது இருக்குது, we don't understand how to go forward, just meditate and ask him, how should we proceed? அந்த மாதிரிங்களா?
இல்ல பாபாஜி கேட்கறது தப்பு இல்லை. அந்த மெடிடேஷனோட கேட்டா நிச்சயமா உங்களுக்கு கிடைக்கும். நம்ம அல்மைட்டியே கேட்கிறோம். சரி, we are parts of that almighty. நம்மளே அந்த ஸ்பார்க் ஆஃப் த லைட் தான். ஸோ இந்த தமிழ்ல ஒரு வார்த்தை இருக்கு, கேள்விக்கு பதில் அதுக்கு அடுத்த பக்கம் வாங்க. கேள்வி நாயனே நீயே சொல்லு அப்படின்னு ஒரு பாட்டு கூட இருக்கு. இட்ஸ் அதர் சைட் ஆஃப் த காயின். ஸோ நீங்க டீப் மெடிடேஷன் பண்ண உங்களுக்கு ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்காக அந்த சொல்யூஷன் வந்துடும். And all these people are ready to help us. People like Babaji, they are ready to help us. Only thing is we have to rise up to their level. நம்பிக்கையோட மேல பண்ணா தான் அவங்க தூக்கிடுவாங்க. அது கூட பண்ண மாட்டாங்க நிறைய பேர். Those people are not doing even that. So these are the sadhanas that help us to be in entire conscious level. ஒரு பியூட்டி இருந்தால் தான் அவங்களால வர முடியும். Otherwise, mind itself will find some kind of excuse that is wrong, this and that. Because mind is so smart. Justify anything. ஆமா.
And in the time, like I think we see a lot of like turmoil, but like just in terms of Siddhas என்ன சொல்றாங்க, like this is like just in terms of human relations and stuff like that, அந்த மாதிரி perspectiveல what do we do? Should we keep taking, like if just say you're in a relation, in some type of friendship or relationship and you know that it's a negative relationship, do you just say that that's a bad energy, and do we keep out of it, keep them away from us and isolate ourselves from that negative energy? Or is it the right thing to do is to keep being patient and taking
understand perfectly your question. Everybody goes through this. Of course, it all அந்த ரேஞ்ச் இருக்கு. அதான் இது ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஷிப் அவங்களோட இல்லாம இருக்க முடியுமா, இல்ல அவங்க வீட்டுல ஸ்பைஸா, குழந்தைங்களா, ரிலேட்டிவ்ஸா, அதெல்லாம் பொறுத்து இருக்கு அந்த ரேஞ்சு. பட் அல்டிமேட்டா பாபாஜி என்ன சொல்றாருன்னா, ஒரு சிதறல் சொல்றது எல்லாமே the purpose of life எப்பயுமே நம்ம மாத்திக்கவே முடியாது. Purpose of life is evolve. Spiritual evolution is important. இப்போ நீங்க ஓரளவுக்கு எவால்வ் ஆயிட்டீங்க, you have evolved so much and you can bear that the trouble whatever they're giving, இதெல்லாம் நீங்க ஆமா, it's okay. See, you have to consider at the highest level and the bliss consciousness அந்த எக்ஸசைஸ் இருக்கும் பொழுது you are all Atmans. You are an Atman. அவங்க ஒரு Atman. There is no color, there is no race, there is no religion. Nothing is there.
Right.
Atman to Atman. So
Right.
each Atman should help the other Atman to evolve. Adan purpose.
Right.
அது உங்களால் பண்ண முடியுமான்னு பாருங்க. You try your best to do that. If not, just get away.
Right.
That is going to affect you. Your Atman is
Right.
going to pull you down from your spiritual evolution. Get
Right.
away. Get away.
The negative energy. I think you can really feel that negative energy. It changes your own balance.
Right.
So now, like if someone thinks that you're not good or your intentions are not good, even though you know yourself, அது திருப்பி திருப்பி அவங்க கிட்ட போய் like you need to prove.
No.
And no, அப்படி இல்லைன்னா if you feel that negative energy, like let it's not worth the relationship and you just move on. Or is that like something evil by saying like I'm cutting off a sibling or someone like that? Like you have a guilt, right? Like நான் கரெக்டா பண்றேனா இல்ல because you know that if you do include that in the thing, it ruins your mental peace.
அதான் அது மாதிரி இருந்தா you want to comment on something?
No, I have gone through that, so I'm telling other person, but I would always ask him the same question. But I think to get yourself stronger, that is
Right.
what we have to do, because we cannot expect them. They are going to bring that negative energy into us. So we have to get stronger consciously so that it doesn't affect us. And then once you start building yourself stronger, what happens is that negative energy hits you, but you can realize that, and your body and mind and soul are already ready for it. So what happens is, even though you don't, sometimes it's a thing that you cannot cut off. You have to have that person in the life that you cannot completely cut off, but you can reduce you being affected by it. And that only comes with inner strength. Your gut feeling will be getting so strong that you will already start predicting what they are trying to get you. If they are intentionally trying to get you down, by building your own energy and by building your own strength, you can combat that very well and keep them at par.
Right.
Like you build yourself your own fortress so that they won't be able to inside you.
To get it and affect you.
I have gone through that completely, and that is where I'm still not complete. I still slip in, but I have learned to put myself together and build a fortress around me. And if sometimes you have to avoid it, you consciously avoid them. And that is how I'm learning to deal with that.
See, another perspective of this problem, it is very good question. All of us go through when you're in society. Remember that triangle we always talk about, yourself, your consciousness, mind, and then the community at large, and nature. And the triangle, we all have to go through this. Important perspective is that the reason why you are dealing with some relationship, some people, very close, including spouse, including children, they all come because of your past karmas. Everything is well planned. Some of them come for you to learn certain things. Other you should never forget. Nothing is an accident. Nothing is, why did God give me such a spouse? Why did I give me? No, it is your own. Exactly. You should remember. So then that Atman, this one, what is the lesson I'm supposed to be getting from this? Let me get. Can I live without it? Or can I? But you should never forget that you can never degrade guilty consciousness and all those. You should never get that being a child of Babaji and Siddhas. Because we know our Atman has, everybody has the same Atman, pure. We are the spark of the light, the supreme. All right. So you are on the right path. So do not lose yourself, because I always tell Asian other people, when you are climbing up in the mountain of spiritual evolution, you see so many things. You see so many.
You can't hear her. She can't hear you.
She can't hear me. Why not? My volume.
Okay, just it's like a few seconds, like.
Okay. I think I'll come to that.
The last few seconds.
Okay, that.
Yeah.
Okay. So
But
when you're climbing up, see you see when you're climbing up a mountain, you see the valley, you see the villages, you see the sky with the clouds and everything. But people down there, they cannot see the clouds. They cannot see the other houses. They cannot the other. Their picture, what they're seeing, their consciousness seeing is something different. That is why we differ. Now, that time, you should not lose your confidence because they will pull you down otherwise. It will happen again and again. You have to climb up all over.
It's like and the term they're saying now is gaslighting. So அவங்க realmல போனீங்கன்னா they change your reality. So நம்மளுக்கே sanity போயிடும்.
Exactly. That's the challenge.
Like we don't realize that we have to come out of it and then get back into our thing to realize, oh my God, it just destabilizes you.
Yeah.
So almost like you go through this very much of peace, and then they come in, it's like a cyclone muddy.
Exactly.
So that's why I didn't know, like, I always meditate and ask, and they did. But the guilt, like if you decide, like, when they're not in your life and you're able to make that option and you feel peaceful, is that okay? Because we're all about like love, but in the same sense, if they are in that thing, it's destabilizing you.
Right.
So they say avoid that negative energy. There's certain people that might never realize.
Yeah.
They will always be in that negative perception.
Like he always says, everybody has their own spiritual involvement. So if, like he says, if we are getting the aerial view and we are trying to explain to them the aerial view and they're not getting it, maybe that's in this life, that is how their spiritual involvement is up to. They all have a glass roof. So we are trying to break that glass roof and grow. But maybe for them, they need a little more instigation or somebody else to tell them. And their involvement or their involvement probably for this birth that's it. So by avoiding them,
that only certain fish will escape the net.
There you go.
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
So maybe this is not their
this is not, but we can only help them out and we can tell them. But if it is starting to affect us and we are out of our consciousness, then it is not healthy for us.
Right.
So if you are able to keep that consciousness and deal with it, then might as well go with it. If you cannot, then they say always stay away. But that you're not avoiding them. You can be still sweet, you can still be okay, but you have to put your fortress around. And then just work within the fortress.
Right.
That's how I learned to deal with it. And I'm still learning, and it is not always the case.
It's a process. It's a process.
It will be really good, and some days you yourself will lose to that energy, and then you have to pick yourself.
Right. Because you think you're doing so well until that person, that person comes, and then you're just like, it's like as if nothing is, changed in you, and you go back to how you were. But again, with meditation, you get back to that base, and then you build it back up. Right?
Exactly.
That I learned the hard way.
Exactly.
Right.
So
painful.
It's more painful, as you can say. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Oh, that was one.
Absolutely.
But thank you. But that came with your question.
Absolutely, that's good. But one important thing to remember is many of the sadhaks and people who are doing this kind of sadhana never stand in between. This is right, sadhana. Nammula solluvaanga madil mel punai meri. Am I following the right thing? Madil mel punai. Am I following the right thing? Am I not getting along with the society? Maybe something wrong with me. Maybe they are right.
With me.
Never think of that. You are on the right path, because none of the things Babaji is saying can be wrong. None of the things Siddhas are saying is wrong. These are all ideals, and absolutely it is thousands and thousands of years. Life has been designed. Even sometimes people coming to the West, when they come here and say all these things, they think they are all, is not good. They're all backward thoughts. They keep on going. Look at the evolution of people. People who lived such a long period of time, use this knowledge and living for a century. one of the culture which is living longer is our culture. If you even look at that Egyptian culture, Mesopotamian, all the cultures you take, we are the still long living the culture in the world. That you can even Google and find out. So we have the information, and unfortunately, it is not taken care. So what am I saying is ultimately, never, the madal male don't stand in between. Absolutely, clarify yourself. You're on the right path. This is the purpose of life. This is the tools are given to me. I have experienced it. Do not make others to question your experience. Experience is the truth.
Like once you've seen it, don't self-doubt yourself, because people will be like, oh, enjoyment is the purpose of life. This is thing, and that runs away you. What it is.
Absolutely.
In the long run, it just leads to suffering.
Yeah, it did make sense when he used to say that live like a dewdrop on a lotus. It didn't make sense at that point, but now it's making so much sense that you can still incorporate a lot of things, but be in that like a dewdrop without being affected.
Know what is the reality, right?
Yes, no, that is why he says always if you're strong in that and you believe so deeply in it, you will always live in that bubble, but at the same time, you will be with everybody. And nothing will disturb you. And that is how it comes through meditation. And since you meditate every day, I'm sure you feel that consciousness. And then there is always a gut that will tell you that your gut will get stronger. And it'll tell you whatever it is ahead of time. So that is something what I have experienced it. So, like you said, experience you cannot take away anyways.
You can't take away.
No.
Very, very absolutely. See, that is why Patanjali Sutras, everything, Yoga Vritti Chanada, established in that consciousness. You do everything. Established in the consciousness, deal with people. Established with consciousness, which go with the society. What is the consciousness? No, nobody explained to detail. Babaji has Siddhas have done very clearly. We also talked about it. Established in that consciousness, which is blissful. Established in that consciousness, which is ecstatic, which you feel in the Turiya stage. Established பண்ணிட்டு அப்புறமா you can do whatever. But that consciousness should not go away. If it goes away, then the next step is the energy is going to change. Energy changes, then feelings are going to change. And feelings are going to change, mind is going to change. Then it is affected body also. Now they are figuring it out. Even the thinking and thoughts have some influence on your body also. Guilty conscious one day, disease vandrum. People get disease because of this itself. Depression varum. Depression and other problems will make. So what is the root? Root of it is that consciousness. Patanjali starts, first sutra itself, he starts, establish the supreme consciousness. So that is the consciousness. To get it, we go through all of it. We experience a little bit here and there. So we cannot lose that consciousness. So other that is the indicator of right or wrong. Today's Babaji's lecture, Babaji's information is very, very important, even though it's only a short, very sweet thing, very important. So you can use it yourself in your life and you can see the changes happening. So absolutely good. So much discussion there. Thank you. Very useful for particularly in this Kali Yuga.
This time, yeah.
You have to get along with society also. அதே மாதிரி அது ஊரோடு ஒட்ட ஒழுகல் பலகற்றும் கல்லான் அறிவிலாதான் அப்படின்னு திருவள்ளுவர் சொல்லுவார் ஒரு வார்த்தை. அதாவது நீங்க you may be a ஞானி and everything, but you have to get along with the world also. So I used to wonder why is he saying all this. பலகற்றும் கல்லான் அறிவிலாதான். You want to learn everything, still you are stupid because you're not getting along with society. That is where the thing comes in the living with the drop of water on the lotus. Exactly. Kutram partha sutram illai. And if you keep on finding fault with others, right? There is no sutram. So relatives irukka maata. Everybody has it here, right? Imprints. So the best thing is look at them as other Atman. All the Atmans are equal. They're all going in a different stage of evolution.
The meditation helps because it brings a sense of compassion.
Exactly.
You see them as like a power. The soul is not.
ஆனா அந்த பாவம் பாவப்படுறது உங்களை இறக்கிட கூடாது. அதை பார்த்துக்கணும். You should not make them. They should think. They has to make sure that you are in that stage all the time. பாவம் மன்னிக்கலாம். You can. That is why Jesus' forgiveness comes from there only. Even
but not bring that forward.
yeah,
right?
but Siddhas never said you can die for it. That is where we differ. Those some of the concepts Christ was saying. You can't live your life for that, because life is something. He is a Atman, he is a son of God. That is why he did it, maybe. But as a human, we can never, as a Siddha, as a follower, we can never accept taking others' power and then dying out of it. We can never do that. Unless we have a saying, Siddhas, unless your hands are strong, you cannot protect other people. So if the people are protecting அவளே வந்து உன் கையை எடுத்துட்டானா, then you cannot protect other people. You cannot give them. Your hands has to be strong. Spiritually, you have to be always strong. Any that strength is taken by somebody else, no, get away. Ignore, or if not, நான் அடிக்கடி ஜெயிச்சு சொல்லுவேன், if you are not there, I won't ignore these people. But I have to stand because of you. Okay, so certain level you can ignore, certain level you can get away. If you cannot do it, get out. You are an Atman coming to this life to progress, and if that is not there, there's no point of living like that. So ஓரளவுக்கு தான் வந்து நீங்க வந்து கம்பேஷன் இருக்க முடியும். So compassion வந்து அதான் அந்த compassion to yourself also. So the compassion has to go yourself too. You cannot devote yourself completely. Remember, when you say compassion, it has to be for your soul, your mind, your Atman also. So yeah, so you can forgive and then keep going. So you are and others, you should never forget that. Some people என்ன பண்ணுவா, sacrifice பண்ணிடுவா. They think they are sacrificing their children, sacrificing their spouse, sacrificing for the parents, which will never satisfy yourself. Otherwise, you have to come back again, same cycle. They all.
So Siddhas don't think that that's a good idea.
No.
Not to sacrifice.
No.
Not to the extent of
hurting yourself,
affecting you. They say it's a good thing. You will be able to. You should be sacrificing, but not to the extent of instilling not using these yardsticks if anything changes. Not to that extent. So because the compassion is towards you also.
So you can't, like, to the point that you can't go forward in your
if it starts becoming a problem or a hurdle in your evolution, I think that's where you have to recognize that ahead of time. Mm-hmm.
That's very clear. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Good. So yeah, let's do the China. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Namaya Navasima. Mavayana Sisiya Namava Vashimayana Om Shivaya Namaya Mavayana Sisiya Namava Vashimayana Om Shivaya Namaya Mavayana Sisiya Namava Vashimayana Om Shivaya Namah Mavayana Shishiya Namava Vashimayana Om Shivaya Namah Mavayana Shishiya Namava Vashimayana Om Shivaya Namah Mavayana Shishiya Namava Vashimayana Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Okay.
Thank you, Nga. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you.
Say hi to Sakshi. I saw her there. She's so cute.
Yeah,
They're
excited because they met you, so now they know who I'm meditating.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
Yeah. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
You too. Bye bye.